Hi, Nick Maley here to tell you more inside stories about the making of famous movies from the Yoda Guy movie exhibit here in St. Martin. You know, I was part of Stu Freeborn's team that built creatures for the Mos Eisley Cantina. But after we made that movie, it was a really long time that they were editing the clips together and compositing shots before the movie came out and people knew what we'd done and were asking us to do lots of other movies. So during that time, we did a little job for Gene Roddenberry, and we also did Superman 1 and half of Superman 2. But in the lean times, when I was struggling to feed myself, I would do commercials, and sometimes that led me into doing music videos. The first album that I got involved with was for a British band called Thin Lizzy. I think it was their second album, was called The Boys Are Back in Town, and they wanted me to do makeups for them to make the whole of the band look like they'd been in some big fight, like they were little tough guys and they were going to get out there and fight in the street. So I took them literally at their word, and I made them all look really seriously beaten up with blood and bruises and various things that ultimately were so effective that they decided it was too gruesome for an album cover, and so they did something else instead. But later on I did another album cover for British rocker Graham Parker called Parkerilla, and some stuff with Roger Daltrey and The Who.
He speaks with a terrible stammer, so he don't have much to say.
For Roger's track, One of the Boys, I made him a number of different characters. So he was a punk, he was a teddy boy, he was some others as well, and that was quite an interesting challenge. In the 90s, I directed music videos for a young singer called Toma and made him 16 different characters, and that won an award at the world's biggest film festival in '96. Without a doubt, the best of all the music videos that I was involved with was Duran Duran's Wild Boys video, which won the Grammy in 1984. The director, Russell Mulcahy, was someone who I hadn't worked with before, and he had a big reputation for working with all the best bands. It was a 10-day job where we went in and tried to make what we could out of whatever we had. And I took with me several members of my team from Lifeforce, who later on went on to acclaim in their own rights. We're going to run the video because it still holds up really well after all of these years, but I'll point out a few things that we did on that. Firstly, there was all the body paintings. I would use my airbrush to body paint 30 odd artists, and then as I finished each one they would move on to some of my assistants to be finished. There were the bald heads as well. We did quite a few of those. None of them I think were actually bald. There was of course the fire breathing robotic barman that was fully mechanical. That was something that I put together with my assistant Bob Keane. But there was the several things that we brought from Lifeforce with us that we squeezed in to add more interest. There were things like a mechanical arm that we stripped all the flesh off so it became a robotic arm, and the same thing with one of the animatronic heads. So that was the effects that we did. Although it was a very popular video, there were some band members that were less than pleased that there was so much time spent looking at other performers and not looking at the band. Something I should point out is something that I didn't do. Two of the juniors on my team kind of branched out to build one of the creatures themselves. It's a creature that comes out of the water when Simon the Bon is swimming around and it tries to bite him. It's a big piece, kind of like a giant penis with teeth. But it wasn't built by me. It was built by two juniors on my team from Life Force who went on to have amazing careers doing movies like Guardians of the Galaxy and directing Blade. That's the breakdown of the creatures. Let's watch the movie. What happened? Somebody blocked us from playing this video, which doesn't make any sense since it's already playing elsewhere on YouTube. I guess they don't want me to show you the fire-breathing barman or the bodies that we painted or the mechanical arm or the other stuff. But what I really suggest is if you'd like to see the video, that you just search YouTube for Duran Duran Wild Boys film version. Then you get to see it anyway. I'm Nick Maley, that Yoda Guy, and I look forward to seeing you again when you come back next time.